Hey YouTube. So let me turn this down a little bit here. I'm gonna get into some personal stuff, and if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to watch the video. I will make the title of this video very clear, so that you're not feeling misinformed. It's not clickbait. So I don't know if it's just me and just the sphere of people I live with and live in, but cancer this last couple of months has been a big deal in my life. My wife's a nurse, so obviously, you know, she sees her fair share of different illnesses and whatnot. But she had a friend at work who had a daughter get diagnosed back in May with DIPG brain cancer, which is the most deadly of all, especially childhood brain cancers. It has a death rate of like 99.9%. And it's so bad that she was diagnosed because she was having some issues with balance. And she was diagnosed at the beginning of May, and she passed away last week. So, very deadly cancer. It attacks your brainstem and slowly starts eating away at your ability, your motor functions, eventually taking away your ability to swallow and your ability to breathe, all of that stuff. And they can't operate on it because it is inside the brainstem at the base of the brain, and it is intertwined, and they cannot remove it safely. And there is currently no cure. A lot of different treatments are being tried, and some of those treatments will prolong life a couple of months or so, but no cures. And like I said, she was diagnosed with balance, or she was diagnosed the first part of May. And here we are, mid-July. Last week would have been the middle of July, so 2.5 months. She went from walking funny, but still walking and talking and happy, to completely unable to eat, drink, and then finally pass away last week. And we were very active in that, setting up a GoFundMe and doing some other things to try and raise money for them and help the family out. And as a person who's got 6 children, I have got 6 of my own children, and one of them is 6 years old, which is the same age this young girl was. It was very difficult to watch this process, and just heart-wrenching. Well, then about 2 weeks ago, my cousin, who we just went camping with at the end of May, Memorial Day weekend, and had a fun time. Him and my son are super close, and we just had a blast. And he starts having these headaches every day for some reason, and they can't figure out what's going on, why he's having these headaches. And So they take him in, and at first they thought maybe they found a popcorn kernel in his ear that had been there for a while, and they thought maybe it was just having an adverse reaction with his body and causing him to have a headache. So they pulled the popcorn kernel, and the next day he has a headache again, and a really bad headache. So they take him into the Children's Hospital here in Oregon, and he has a tumor bigger than a golf ball in his brain. And after doing some research on it, they find out that it is encased in fluid, and they set up the surgery for last week and had it removed last Thursday. And he had some trouble with meds, but everything seemed to be going fine. And then today they get a diagnosis that it is not benign, it is malignant, and that he will be starting treatment as soon as his head heals. And I can't imagine what these two families are going through. Having to watch their young children go through this mess. And the parents having to watch their children go through this, and the kids not really understanding what's going on. That poor little girl, all she knows was that she was fine. And now she can't, she couldn't eat, breathe. I can't imagine what the people that have to deal with this go through. And it's so cliche to hold on to the ones you love, blah blah blah. You don't know. I mean, yes, it's absolutely true, but gosh dang, I feel like things, growing up, when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, graduated in 98, started going to school in 84. I don't think I can think of a single child in that time frame that I went to school with who had cancer, who got cancer. I don't think I can think of a single kid that I remember, looking back, that I remember deal with cancer. Now, a few years ago, our neighbors that lived next to us, just after we moved in to the house that we're in now, their daughter wasn't developing, was not meeting her potential or meeting her goals. She was 2 or 3 years old, and she wasn't quite walking, and so they took her in, and she had 2 golf ball size tumors. And they went in and they removed them, and she went through treatment, and she started getting healthy and things seemed great, and then she was re-diagnosed, and the cancer had come back. And I mean, we're talking like a 2 and 3 year old little girl. I mean, she's 6 now. And, she has fought cancer twice in 6 years. And she's a beautiful little gal, and smart and funny and brave. Every time I see her, I just am in awe of her, just who she is. And I mean, I don't know, guys. You guys tell me, like, are you guys seeing this stuff more, and you looking back and you don't remember it like I am? Like, I don't remember seeing this stuff happen at all. You know, and is it the hormones in our food? Is it, you know, for some reason I just keep thinking, you know, as we try and produce more food faster, that it just has to be hormonal. It makes me want to put my family on a you know, all organic, no hormones diet, because I don't want to have to deal with this with any of my children. So anyway, guys, that's been my last couple of months, and what I've kind of been dealing with. I mean, it's affected me in the sense that some of it is family, some of it is friends, some of it is just me replacing these poor kids with my own kids' face, and realizing how devastating it would be to get that kind of news. So anyway, guys, I would encourage you to, you know, get involved. And cancer is such a horrible, horrible disease, and it seems like the more that we find inroads of being able to cure it and being able to beat it, it seems to come out stronger and more challenging. So anyway, guys, please like, subscribe, share your experiences with it, you know, family members, that sort of thing. And hang on, and thanks for watching. You all have a great night.